Yeah, I see some people in the park out here today with their children and putting them on the swing. How beautiful. But that's what we fight for every day, to make a better world for our children to live in. It's not that easy. God didn't say it's going to be that easy. When we turned away from him, this is what happened to us. You know, we start adapting and bringing other things into this country, into the nation. And now look at it. Now it's hard to get them out. It's hard to get them out. I like this shirt. I'm wearing, of course. The shirt was gifted to me by one of my the stores out here that sometimes I go to, me and my husband, for drinks, to get our drinks and stuff. It's called Samson Wine Store. Nice people. They are Indian business, liquor store, whatever. And I've been around them for 10 years. We've been knowing them for like 10 years since they small store. And then they expanded on their business as far as the store wise to make the store more, bigger. So, yeah, so they're good people. We have some good people that work in this community and serve the American people and serve the nation, and they do it in a good way. Then you got the ones who come here illegally, nasty, disrespectful, you know, like we owe them something. We don't owe you nothing, boo. You came here by free will. If anything, you owe it to yourself. So that's what it's all about, and that's what President Trump is going so hard at cracking down on. Y'all been giving handouts to all these people, and they just been coming, and doing nothing for this nation but draining us through our resources, um, government assistance, and everything else like that. No, those are for the people that are the American people. Who's going through hardship. Those are for the poor working class American families. That's not for you. You got to get your resources in your own country. If you come to bring something. You don't come to take. And that's and that's what Obama messed us up, and I'm making sure the lipstick is on there. But that's what Obama messed us up at, talking about change. Yeah, he changed all right and bringing new change and for the American people. He wanted to implement his life. He didn't have no American experience. His life was international. He had biracial parents, multicultural background, and what else he had going on with himself. Everything he made it about him. He didn't make it about the American people. He made it about him. And we was fools that we didn't see it because we was so fascinated that we had a black man that looked like us to be president for the first time. And that just made black America so excited. And then we didn't realize how much it was going to cost us. Almost, how much it was going to cost us, how much it set us back. 30 years, y'all. 30 years. We should have been past this stuff we dealing with right now. For real, for real. Oops, oof, oof. For real, we should have been past all of this. We should have been past all this racial profiling and injustice and cops killing black people or cops killing anybody. All of this should have been dealt with. All of this should have been already dealt with in black America. We had a black president. There was some racial violence, and he did not step forward. Or he said, if Trayvon was his son, he would have been a black. And that's all he said. But he didn't have a son. He got two daughters. He don't have a son. He only got two daughters, two beautiful daughters. On top of that, it's a beautiful family. I'm not going to deny that to him. But he did a wicked thing to the American people, and especially to black Americans. Only people that love him so much is these liberal white people who get to run around here with a alternative lifestyle. But their alternative lifestyle and try to indoctrinate your children in school with all of this LGBTQ stuff. That's why I said I went to public school, but I didn't only just go to public school. I had to learn the Bible. The Bible. Because just in case anything didn't line up with what that Bible said, oh yeah, the black mothers and the black elders that was taking care of us at that time, oh, they would have had something to say at that school. For real, for real. Even when at one of my graduations, I think it was elementary school, I believe. And the speaker, not the speaker, the music was ain't gonna let nobody turn us around, and also was on we shall overcome whatever. And then my mother said, why are y'all singing that? And she questioned it. She questioned it with the school. She says, why were these the songs that were chosen for the kids to sing? Y'all couldn't find no other songs that would made them, celebrate them moving up, and you singing some songs about freedom, oh freedom over me, and before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave. No, we teach that to our kids at church. We don't teach them that in school. My mother had to correct that damn music that, a lot of parents were upset about it because my mother was part of the PTA. Yeah, a lot of parents were not pleased with those songs that was going to be sung at our graduation ceremony. No, no, that's not the song. So we had to go into another one, and we had to get the songs by Stevie Wonder, and the song I believe, "The Children Are Our Future." Okay, at that song it was George Benson, not Whitney Houston. She did the remake on it. But the greatest love of all was sung in the Muhammad Ali movie, the original Muhammad Ali movie with Muhammad Ali himself. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. Everybody searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone who fulfilled my needs. A lonely place to be. So I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I'll live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity, because the greatest love of all is inside of me. Learning to love yourself is the greatest gift of all. Okay? You got to learn what's inside of you. You got to learn who you are and how the world sees you and what you know God sees you as. To order to know that is the greatest gift you can ever know. When you run around here and don't know who you are, you can easily become somebody else's life who's living, you living in somebody else's shadow and not your own. Always remember. So I was so glad to have that back then, and a lot of times the people today, they don't push that in their children. They just be glad to get them out of the house, go to school, and they go to work and pay the bills, and that's it. And no man care, don't even question nothing. Don't question what kind of friends they have. Don't do no asking questions about school or what are they learning in school or looking at the curriculum or anything that challenge. Now there's some that are challenging it, but there's a whole lot that's not. And that's exactly how they daughters in school are having experience with females. That's just why they sons are having the experiences they having with males. And nobody's questioning it. And then all of a sudden your son come home with looking like a female, and your daughter is coming home. She has no boyfriend. She's not bringing him in, but she's starting to stress a little strange. You got to know your children. You got to know your children. When I was a teenager, I had been around friends, I mean peers. I wouldn't say friends, my peers. And there were some that did have an identity crisis. And they had an alternative lifestyle. I never experienced with it. I never judged them. And I just never experienced with it. It just never took no interest in me. I just never was interested in. I had people in my family with that kind of lifestyle. But when Obama came and started pushing it in the church, in these black politicians, black churches that got on his team, they started bringing it in the church. You couldn't even say, no, they not allowed to preach. No, they not supposed to be on the choir. No, they not anything in the ministry. No, they here to get delivered. We can't encourage the behavior. And only way they could be on the ministry, that's if they willing to change. They willing to change their heart for God. That's the only way. But other than that, they can't be being in ministries and stuff like that, and they still carrying that alternative lifestyle. Men being married to men, and women married to women, and women getting in ministry roles that are lesbians and all that. That is an abomination to God. It's contrary to God. God was very clear on the institution of marriage. He said a man and a woman. He told you from the book of Genesis about these people. You give them a little, they're going to try to take much. And you're not helping the kingdom of God. You helping Satan destroy this world in the way we're supposed to build the world, the way God wants us to be. And that's exactly what Obama and Biden's policy did to us. A lot of black people got mad when they found out he passed that law. They jumped off his team and they never looked back. Because we didn't know. It wasn't something that was pushed in front of the policy. It didn't say we're going to help people who are lesbians and homosexuals. We are going to pass a law. We're going to pass a bill for you to get married. And all. None of that was ever said to the people. They just waited till they got their second term in and signed the what you call it and approved of it instead of trying to tear it down. And now Trump had to come in and heard all of that craziness and knowing how he is. That's why I say he need all the help he can get from us and all the prayers he can get from Black America. And we need to learn how to forgive and move on. Oh, he ain't forgiving. He did because he's a baby in Christ and we know better. That's why we know better than they do. God gave the assignment to us to set the role, to set the standard. That's why in black people we gotta hold up the standard. Sometimes it ain't. Sometimes we know it ain't easy. And yes, it do run through my mind the evil that I want to do to get my get back. But when I have to hear God's voice, I have to yield and humble myself. No, it's not easy. No, it's not easy trying to continuously telling people they doing something wrong, and they just keep doing it, and they just hard and they hard to do it. But you just gotta keep doing what's right until eventually they heart will turn right and not left. Okay, that's what we gotta do. Sometimes it gets so hard. That's why I saw this fool that got on his post and said some discrediting things about the president. And I said, you know what? He was a white dude. And I said, I said like this. I said, look, he mad at Trump. He called Trump all kind of names. He even came back with the 26 women that supposedly accused him of all of these sex crimes or whatever. And I said, look, all of that should have been dealt with when it happened, before he became president of the United States. God ain't pleased with that. That you calling this man out now, and you knew it went on a long time. You wasn't doing all of that then. So why do it now? Why are you trying to get your get back? Why are you now trying to get a get back by trying to discredit him, trying to put his character out there, trying to call him a rapist, a child pedophile, a pig, a this or that, all these nasty names you calling him. If anything, don't use these women for your political bait. You know what I'm saying? Or your political get back or whatever it is. Y'all should have had that taken care of a long time ago. If it did happen. But you didn't. And now he became the president of the United States. Now y'all want to try to find and use that as leverage to get him out the seat and to throw him out of, you know, or to impeach him. That's not going to work with a Christian. Not with us Christians. We're going to learn how to pray for him. We're going to pray for him. And we're going to pray for those people too. They here, they not, well, anyway. I'm just saying, it's kind of hard being a Christian to make other people understand that. When they don't read their scriptures and all they going on is feelings and emotions. God is not, don't care about your feelings and your emotions. You know, he's not on your feelings and emotions. God is divine. You know, he's divine. You can't play with God. You know, you want to use God when you want to harm somebody. No, God don't work like that. God does not work like that. And we're not supposed to encourage people to harm people. And we're not supposed to be supporting wickedness done to anybody else. We don't do that. Not as a Christian. We're supposed to know how to see it for what it is, learn how to pray and forgive. And pray that they don't do it again. If it has happened, let me pray they don't do it again. But we're not going to pray no harm on somebody and call ourselves a Christian. Just like what happened with Jake Lang. Oh, God. Jake Lang went with Pastor Lorenzo Sewell, and everybody's mad at Pastor Lorenzo Sewell for defending Jake Lang. I said, Pastor, the young minister, he did a lot of things. He told you his testimony. He's the last person in God's place to judge anyone. Okay? His job is to do what he's called to do in the ministry for the Lord. Okay? And he was where he was to be at that hearing in Dearborn, Michigan, to speak and be the voice for black Christians in the black community. And that's his job. Regardless of how you feel about Jake Lang, because God knows who Jake Lang is, that Jake Lang, he's the one who provoked those Muslims. If they came to beat his ass and they came to dog and dragged him out or whatever they was about to do to him, he put himself in danger. Okay? He did it to himself. Stay at the hearings, continue to lift your voice, and to fight like we supposed to. You're not supposed to be encouraging nobody to commit violence. Because violence begot violence, and innocent people will get harmed. And we just can't do that. We know they're not supposed to be doing the things they're supposed to be doing. Continue to educate the public about it. Continue to educate them about it. If they're going to do it, they will be arrested and they will be deported. That's it. We ain't got to keep saying this. No Sharia law will take place in the United States. If you are out in the street praying, we will have you arrested. Not because of your religion, but because this is the law that you're breaking. We don't pray in the street. You have your mosque. Go inside the mosque and pray inside your mosque, not in our streets. We are not here to change any laws. The laws in America stays the way it is. We don't put nothing new into it. And we only stand on what's in that Constitution. You are giving your religion freedom, but if you want to keep it, follow the law. That's all it is. Ain't nobody forcing you to be a Christian. If you feel you can't be a Christian, then you go be a goddamn Buddha. Or you go be whoever you want to be. But in America, we serve the God of the Bible. This is the host country. This ain't the other 6 other world places of the world. This is America. And if you're going to want to bring your life here and have freedom in your faith and freedom as a human being and human rights or whatever, then this is the place to be. All you got to do is follow the Lord. You don't break no laws if the laws is not just be praying in the street, blocking traffic, making signs on the streets, the names of your name, of your country, whatever. No, we don't do that. This is America. You don't do that. That's disrespectful. And you didn't come here to serve the American people. You came here to make this country, force this country into believing that this is your country and to try to force your way in. And you're just going to get yourself knocked out. And we ain't trying to harm nobody. We ain't trying to kill you. We ain't trying to do none of that to you. But it comes a time when God will give orders to destroy you and destroy all of you. So if you really want, you ain't listening to man, you listening to God, the God of the Bible. You said you believe in God? Did? Those are the rules. God is not like man. This is divine order. They don't understand when they don't read the Bible. They can read the Quran, some man ideology that fooled the world. Oh, the Bible. No, look, you didn't raise up on the Bible, then that's fine. Then you shouldn't be in America. Because we ain't going to fight about that. You in the country where we were raised in the Bible, and this is what we were taught. We're not in your country trying to force this on you. You trying to come here and force it on us. And you're going to get just what you're asking for if you keep pushing. We trying to do it in a peaceful way. We trying to take it to the law. We trying to break it down to you in the law, but you still want to carry on with your terroristic and your ideology, trying to force it on other people. No, we ain't doing that. Either you gonna do it our way or the highway. Who? Don't say that. Did you say that? Don't say that. That's not nice. If that's not true, don't say that. Don't say that. Please don't say that. We don't wish nothing on nobody, okay? I'm sorry if you feel that way. And I told people like this, if you can't take the politics, then get out the kitchen. Get away from it. Don't be getting into something and just so you want to look to harm somebody. Just get away from it. You don't have to listen to no doggone politics. You ain't got to listen to religion. Just go turn on the cartoons or something. Go listen to Bugs Bunny or whatever. There's a whole lot of things you can do to get away from things that are disturbing your mind or harming you or making you become a person that you don't want to become. I do it all the time. Sometimes I get so fed up with hearing about these lynchings and stuff. I be like, turn my channel. I don't even look at the videos. I don't even look at them. I just don't look at them no more. I just say, hey, we just got to keep praying. We know it's out there or whatever, but I'm not going to continue day after day after day looking at videos or seeing, hearing about people dying and being lynched and being killed and being murdered and being bombed. I'm not going to listen to that nonsense all day in my spirit. Nobody wants to listen to that because it's going to provoke you into things that are evil. Just tone it down. And like I have this picture of this elder, just like he said about Officer Tatum. Officer Tatum is dangerous. He's a dangerous black man. He has no feelings about nothing when it comes to black people suffering, pain, and injustice. He just get out there and just shoot off with the mouth and say what the heck he want to say. It's just time to shut him down, shut April Chapman down, Vince Everett, Jason Whitlock, and who else is the voices out there? The other guy, another guy, the Hodge twins, well, I don't hear Daniels out there as much as I used to. Maybe he just don't able to come. He probably is out there, but I just don't turn him on. I don't listen to Candace Owens. I don't listen to none of them. When it comes to, crimes against black people and the justice system of black families fighting for, the victims, the families that are looking for people to be their voice in their time of what they going through and distress and things like this in the law, and they need people to speak for them because they can't speak for themselves. And these people are coming on their platforms just attacking not President Trump, attacking um, Ben Crump and attacking Al Sharpton and attacking, you know, the Democrat this, the Democrat that. No, this ain't about Democrats or Republicans. This is about civil human rights. People, human beings, people that lost their loved ones, people crying, people in pain, people crying out for God's help and mercy, and to just have everybody just stop and listen and take time out to pray for them. We don't need to hear all of that. You people just got to know how to separate, like I said, religion from politics. And sometimes politics ain't in with civil rights is when you come in for the human heart. Okay. And that's what Ben Trump job is, and that's what the Al Sharpton job is. These men work for the human heart. And you people are just wicked. You never think that this could be you one day, that this could be your child one day, hanging on a tree and getting answers that they committed suicide, or your daughter shot by some police action or act. People don't think. They just come out here just because they feel they could say something. They just say it. They don't care about hurting and the harm they put in out there in the public. Yes, it needs to stop. And we need to start holding them accountable. Stop feeding their channels. Stop being entertained by their channels. Just like I said, Jasmine Crockett needs to come and give April Chapman the business. Okay? But just to shut her down. Okay, she attacked that girl all the time. She attacked Jasmine Crockett. She attacked every black woman in politics, in Democrats, or whatever. She always come out. First of all, what is a married woman doing all the time on her platform anyway, making any kind of attack on any woman? Why do you do that? You are a married woman, and then on top of that, a Christian woman. A Christian woman, your responsibilities and your focus should be on your life with your husband and your children. Yes, you can listen to it. You may comment about it if it has anything to do with your life. But to sit on a platform days and insulting other women and their politics and tearing down other women and everything does not look Christian like to me, and doesn't look like you a married woman that you really loved your husband and you out here trying to flirt with other people's husband or some other man out there, because that's what it looks like to be, y'all. Because I don't understand a married woman who gets on a platform, a woman with her own life, with her own husband and her own children, to be out here tearing down any other woman instead of minding her own business and handling her business in the home with her family and her children and her husband. Because God even said that a woman's supposed to tend to the things of her husband. Asmund Crockett is a free woman. She ain't married to nobody. She ain't got no kids. And she's on her right calling. You supposed to be a married woman with a husband and your own children in your own household. That's where your problem. That's where your focus should be on, not on no platform and making these comments, especially on women who lost their children in the system and who lost their children in lynchings and deaths or whatever happened to their kids. You should not have anything to be talking about these women but praying for them. And pray for them and say, I can understand. I'm a mother too. And I just pray that God will give you, you know, whatever reason he had to use your child for. You don't go with all that other stuff, attacking them on politics, attacking them on how they raise their kids, attacking them on this. Because, girlfriend, you just don't know it's coming. See, that's a fool for you. He talks about the woman, the adulterous woman that flatters you. Go into Proverbs, I believe it's in Proverbs 1 or is in Proverbs 3 about talk about the adulterous woman. That's who she is. You ain't minding your business with your own household, but you in somebody else's, some other woman's life about her household. God talks about that. You are not the woman of Proverbs 31. I can tell you that much. You the woman of Proverbs 1 and 3. You the adulterous woman. Or Proverbs 5. You got your own husband, but you out here flirting with everybody else's. You and Vince Everett. That don't look right. It don't look right. Well, those of us who are in the faith, we understand. We see it. Those who's not in, and those who are in the world, you're not going to see it the way the women of the Bible see it. You're going to see it's okay. She ain't under no man. Yes, she is. She's under her husband. And that's who she's supposed to be tending to. Her own household, in her own business, with her own husband and children. And not being a busybody out here, insulting other women out here, and calling other women names and attacking their character. She's a Jezebel. She's an adulterous woman. Ain't the truth ain't in her. Okay? She's evil. Her wicked mouth. Jasmine Crockett is a free woman. She ain't got no husband. She ain't got to answer to no man. She just got to do her job as a a lawmaker or somebody sitting there in Congress and serving her constituents, those people who put her in power in her district. That's her job. Her job is not to please you. Her job is to serve the people in that district that put her in power, to be their voice. And she out there tearing that woman up every chance she gets. She's talking about Jasmine Crockett and the other black one that's out there in Georgia, in Felton County, or she'll say something about Letitia James. I'm not a fan of Letitia James either, because I think she's a lesbian. I don't want to really say that. She never openly said she was one. But, I still, it's not even about her private life. It's about the work she has to do to be an attorney general there in the United States. And I'm pretty sure she worked really hard to get where she's at. It didn't come easy. It didn't come easy for her. So it's not my place to judge her, but I just feel, she does have a heart to care. She does care. I don't think her work is being done in vain for the people in her district or the people she served. I don't think the American people that she served, I don't think her work is in vain. I'm just saying. I just pray for everybody. I know sometimes it don't seem like it, but I do. I try to make what is wrong and correct it to be right with the Lord. That's it. I'm not trying to force it on nobody. Like I said earlier, I don't force people to have to listen to me. I don't force people to agree with me. But I'm not going to be disrespected if you don't agree with me. Get what I'm saying? I'm not going to be disrespectful. I'm not here asking you for nothing. Nothing. But to hit the like button. If you want to subscribe to this channel, you are free to do so. You can hit the bell so when I do come on, you get my notification. You share your comments in the comment section. Not disrespectful. Be respectful. And I will probably get back to you. But with that being said, I got to get up on out of here and go back home and start dinner. But I just wanted to come and sit out here with you in this beautiful park and have this conversation with you today. And just check out what the elder had to say. I put his picture up there, but I don't have the video to share with you. But maybe I'll share it once I take down this live and I'll edit my live and everything and put the video somewhere in the description so you can hear it and hear it from yourself, what he had to share about Officer Tatum and how this man is a monster. What he said he's just not he's just not good to be out there saying the things he's been saying, especially towards black Americans, and the way he talks bad about black Americans, him being black too. And just like I said, some of these people didn't have they didn't grow up with the black experience. Some of them was adopted. Some of them was children that was just dropped off here in the world, and they grew up in a different life, and they learned how to just not identify with who they are, their true identity. We don't know who why they hate black Americans so much, why they against their own people so much. A lot of them was adopted. It could have been, or their family never exposed them a lot around black culture. And so they just feel they better than you. They don't feel that, black people really deserve much of anything, that we make our own suffering. Some of us do, but a whole lot of us don't. It's the way the system is. It gets us to the point where it try to hurt and harm our spirit. And it gets us to the point where sometimes it makes you so mad that you just go out there and do things to harm yourself. That's what they do. And you should know that if you had the black experience. It's telling people to pull themselves up by their bootstraps when they ain't got no boots. Or saying slavery was a choice when it wasn't a choice. When people were overpowered with weapons and guns and all kind of things, and just snatched your people up and took them into bondage. Read the story of the Babylon king, Nebuchadnezzar, when they came and took over those children in Judah, got and broke into their temple, took all their silver, their gold, their everything, and took over. And he asked for the most strongest, the most brilliant, and the most best young men to come work under his administration. And guess who he got those? He had Daniel and the 3 Hebrew boys. But they was not going to bow down to his system. He wanted to throw them in the fire and furnace, and those boys stood on business. Okay? He said, no, we ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing it. They stood on business. And that's exactly how we should feel. Nobody ever made a choice to be a slave. It's even in our songs. Before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave. There's people that fought for their freedom, physically and non-violently, and still got killed. Look at Martin Luther King. That's a perfect example. This man wasn't out there to harm nobody. He was just wanting to fix the law. He just wanted to confront America. And he got killed by doing so. For speaking up for those who didn't have a voice to speak for themselves. And you're going to sit up there and say all the horrible things on his legacy. Believe some white Jewish man that went and tried to change his speech and say it was his written speech. White people been doing that for centuries to us. Stealing our identity. Stealing everything we have. Those ones running around here call themselves Jews. They ain't the real ones. They're not. We are. Because we walk the closest to God. Ain't no real terror came in there like they talking about Hitler, them European Jews over there. That happened over there in Germany. That didn't happen over here in America. And who's running America? So don't come and tell us no, nothing else. They always stealing out, trying to steal our identity. Who runs America? And that's why Mandani wanted to come for them. Because he knows they ain't the real Jews. They always been the liar, the murderer, the thief, the rapist. The real Jews are dark. I'm not saying it wasn't European Jews, but I'm talking about the ones who suffer on the sake of Christ. It's us. We ain't talking about them. They ain't suffering on the sake of Christ. We don't walk around looking like them, religiously and all that. Christ already identified them. He told you who they were. They're going to say they him and they not. You know him in here. And what you do out here to other people, how you live out here and the world treats you. That's how you know. Okay? And they're going to run right there and try to destroy Dr. King's legacy by some white racists that went and try to rewrite his story. And try to... They always do. But we know the truth. And we leave it in here with God. We leave it with God. Because we see they ain't destroying it. devil ain't nothing but a liar, a thief, and a murderer. Okay, so with that being said, God bless you all. Hit that like button. Love you. And I'll come back later. Peace.